Dear Master Oogway, I can't name any fictional grandkids after you. It just doesn't seem right. So this is a video to Master Oogway himself. And you're just such an incredibly wise Kung Fu master. You're amazing. But anyways, I think I usually do last 3 monthly recaps first and things that are going on in my life first, but this time I'm going to switch it up where I'm going to do the content of the video first and then end with what's been going on. So, just a few weeks ago or days ago, I came up with some weird idea to write a letter to my favorite Mormon apostle, President Uchtdorf. And it turned out to be a very long letter. And my mind changes all the time. So I may or may not actually try to send this letter to him. I don't even know if there would even be a way because they're so protected. The LDS apostles, like even communicating with them is rare with regular normal people. But yeah, so this is a letter I've started writing in the last 5 days, and I'm not going to share this whole letter, at least not right now, maybe in the future. But last night I just wrote an excerpt about thoughts of an afterlife. The Mormon afterlife is, well, I won't even, you can easily Google what Mormons believe about what happens when you die, and there's a whole buttload of information about the ins and outs and specifics of what exactly happens after death. But this is something that I just wrote last night, and without trying to explain it further, I'll just get right into it. So yeah, you could see here, like, this is my imaginary, or my letter to President Uchtdorf. It's a letter about dragons and Vikings, but you can see how long it is. I'm just going to share this last part right here. And it says, when asked about the secrets of the universe, an incredibly wise master of Kung Fu responded, "I don't know." And that was Master Oogway in 2008. I give my own answers to the three questions the Mormon Church calls the questions of the soul. Where do I come from? I don't know. Why am I here? Each day I wake up, I continue an exciting quest of discovering, no, making that purpose for myself. Where do I go after this life? I don't know, but I'm not worried about it anymore. For fun and jest, I recently thought up a reincarnate afterlives theology, where not only do we reincarnate, but in between each life we have a period of reflection where we write in our universe book the experience we just went through. It's reincarnation, but with a twist of afterlife timeouts. Once I die, I will write in my universe book my experience of being born and raised Mormon in the 21st century, and how I fell from the faith and lived as a man practicing no orthodox religion. I will then review each of the past lives I had already lived, as a Catholic mother who lived 100 years ago that died suddenly of cancer, or of a time I died as a destitute farmer in a feudal kingdom. Perhaps I was once a famous evil war leader who was assassinated. Then I would close and bookmark my universe book, take a deep cosmic breath, and plunge back into this fascinating planet, perhaps to be born a hummingbird, or a tapeworm, or as the newest female baby in an African or Indian city who grows up attracted to the same sex. Perhaps some universal forces might grant unto me the opportunity of living as another alien species and gender in some great distant planet of another galaxy or multiverse. My universe book grows into an ever-growing emblem of my eternal identity as I add thousands of new life experiences to it. Finally, maybe I'll be born into another beautiful LDS family on planet Earth, this time in the year 2146, where the church is still around, but it looks and operates much different than how I was born into it in 1996. Hopefully it will be a much healthier and safer organization than it was in 2024, thanks to leaders with the courage to challenge the status quo. This is an afterlife I could hope for and desire, even if many of my lives come to tragic endings. Even if I never meet close friends and family again, I just write my experiences in my universe book and plunge into the next awaiting adventure. Always learning anew, living anew, treasuring the new friends I make and the chances of life I've been given. Again, this theology is just for jest, but oh, how much more marvelous this seems than the LDS afterlife I was taught, than any Christian afterlife, at least for me. The LDS plan of salvation is 0.001% life and 99.999% living with the consequences of that blip of existence. My fictional theology is 100% life, but whether eternal nothingness or the celestial kingdom or something else entirely awaits me, I'll just have to find out once I get there, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing. Love, Evil Morty. Evil Mortys is just one of the many other nicknames that I go by. I've had so many damn nicknames during my life, but that's another one that I chose for myself that I kind of like going by right now just for fun. Anyways, so yeah, that's the content of this video. Now I will go into the past 3 months recap. So this is October through December of 2023. Oh, by the way, today is January 24th of the new year, 2024. And just quickly about me, nothing really new. I am still working at Amazon. I have grown to really respect, and I'm very impressed with this company I'm working with called Innovative Deliveries. They are just a very good, I mean, I've only experienced 2 Amazon delivery companies now, but this one, they are just very precise and in the details of just making sure every driver, no matter how good they are, of a delivery driver they always provide coaching and learning opportunities. So, and then they feed us a lot, and they just take care of us a lot. Like, the owner gave every single one of us drivers, like, $50 gift cards to Costa Vida, which, I mean, it's not the coolest thing in the world, but, at my last DSP, it was like, you know, at max $10 gift cards to everybody, but that's besides, not what I want to get into, but so going over the things that happened in the past 3 months. 2 famous people died. Matthew Perry, he's the actor best known for playing Chandler Bing on Friends. He died at age 54. Charlie Munger, the billionaire investor and partner to Warren Buffett, dies at age 99. All right, U.S. politics news. So I think the last video, I explained that the Republicans were having the stupidest, hardest time of electing a new Speaker of the House after they ousted Kevin McCarthy. And so now, this is a while ago now, but Republicans finally elect a new Speaker of the House after, I think 3 attempts this time. And they pick Mike Johnson, and he's the whitest looking and acting person imaginable. And then George Santos was expelled from Congress, and that was something that hasn't happened since 2002. And it's kind of sad because a lot of the late night shows I watched, they always had a fun time of making fun of George Santos because he did a lot of bizarre things, said a lot of bizarre things. And finally, Trump's been in court hearings what seems like every single week in these past 3 months. I don't even know what they're about, but it's I can't believe like he's going to be the Republican presidential candidate again after being in court for 3 or 4 months, and not to mention all the other damn things he's done. And so, yeah, just to end U.S. politics, they just had a couple of Republican primaries, I think, in like Iowa and New Hampshire. And so the big three main ones were Trump, Ron DeSantis, and Nikki Haley. And just like yesterday or 2 days ago, Ron DeSantis finally dropped out. So now it's just between Trump and Nikki Haley, but Haley has absolutely no shot. Trump has, he's the man for the Republican Party, apparently. It just boggles my mind still. But yeah, it's looking to be another matchup between Trump and Biden for this election year, unfortunately. Anyways, moving on. Worldwide news. Israel is still waging a war with Hamas in Gaza, and there's now more than 25,000 Gazan casualties. I'm not sure how many on the Israeli side, but nowhere near as much as the Gazan side. And recently the war has been escalating, hopefully not into, World War III, but it's involving more countries recently. Houthi, I don't know how to say it, Houthi rebels in the country Yemen are attacking trade and military ships passing through the Red Sea, which is a crucial world trade route. And recently, Iraqi militants are attacking U.S. troops again. Other worldwide news. Another war. The Russian-Ukrainian war is still ongoing, but it's almost as an afterthought back burner story compared to this new Israel war. And Congress are deciding whether or not to keep sending money and aid to Ukraine. We're done with war now. A major worldwide breakthrough. Doctors in New York City performed the world's first whole eye transplant. Professor Mad Eye Moody got very excited. 200 nations at the climate summit agreed to transition away from fossil fuels, the first ever global climate deal to explicitly call for reduction on coal, oil, and gas. And in a new policy set by Pope Francis, Catholic priests are now allowed to bless, but not marry, same-sex couples. So in the Catholic Church, gay marriage is still not allowed, but they can bless them, interestingly. And now for Mormon news. This is a big one. It doesn't happen all that often, at least maybe like once a year or so, or once every 2 or 3 years. The Apostle M. Russell Ballard died. He was the president of the Quorum of the 12, so if President Nelson died before him, President Ballard would have been the next. No, that's not true. Elder Oaks has more seniority than Ballard, so scratch that. But anyways, Apostle M. Russell Ballard died. He died on November 12th of 2023. So that means Jeffrey R. Holland is the new president of the Quorum of the 12. But like I said and corrected myself earlier, President Oaks is more senior than Jeffrey R. Holland. And I thought we would be getting a new apostle call in April's General Conference, but I guess they surprised us all because I think that's usually what happens. But like only, I think within the next month, they called the next apostle, and it is Elder Patrick Curran. and he was previously the senior president of the Quorum of the 70, so it's not very surprising at all. In fact, I googled like past presidencies of the 70s, and I think most, if not all, of our new apostles come from the presidency of the 70, which makes sense, but I never really knew that. Because it's just kind of just a seniority ladder. You have to rank your way up to become the apostle, the newest apostle. That's what it feels like. Anyways, he's like the first British apostle in quite a while. There hasn't been any British apostles during my lifetime, and I think there has been like during the early stages of the church, maybe like 100 years ago or so. But yeah, he's representing Great Britain right now, and he seems like a really good guy. Even like the ex-Mormons that I listen to have some decent hopes for this man because of some good talks that he gave recently. Okay, so that's it with the news. With the cinema that I'm watching in my personal life. Right now, ongoing, the new Percy Jackson series is coming out an episode at a time every week on Disney Plus. I had decent hopes after watching the first two episodes, but after I watched episode 3 and 4, my hopes were dashed. I thought it was just so cheesy and so terrible acting. After that, I think there's been episode 5 and 6 since then, and it kind of picked up again a little bit. And today should be the 7th episode. I'll probably watch that today or tomorrow. So it's a decent show, but it's very childish, very, very, I don't really enjoy the acting at all. Like, you could still make a really fun series that is meant for kids and teenagers, but like at least make the acting like decent where young adults and adults can enjoy it. But it's decent. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. And I've also been watching on and off a series on Netflix called Sex Education. It's like a high school in Great Britain, and they're just I'm learning a ton of stuff being a sheltered Mormon, being raised a sheltered Mormon. I'm learning a bunch about sex in it, but it's like just a comedy series. I'm watching a little bit more Rick and Morty. I rewatched all of the Lord of the Rings again, for the new year. And just yesterday, I saw the Truman Show, the Truman Show for the first time, starring Jim Carrey. Okay, books that I am currently reading. One, I don't have it with me, it's in the car, but The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F Word. And it's so hard for me. I mean, it's so hard for me to read nowadays because I just want to watch stuff and play games. But I started that book maybe 2 months ago now, and I just stopped reading it for a while, but eventually I will finish it. And I am reading Harry Potter 5 right now, so I started rereading this series about 2 months ago, and I flew through the first 4 books super fast, and all of a sudden I came into another reading slump, and so I only read about 2 or 3 chapters in this 5th book, but I will power through eventually. And it's not like I'm not enjoying my time reading it, but the series is so awesome, and it was just time for me to start reading this series again, because it's been, I don't know, at least 10 years, maybe more, since I've read the series. And then, so I guess I'm reading 3 books right now. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F Word, Harry Potter 5, and this is the 3rd one. I just bought it 2 or 3 days ago. and it just came out like 10 days ago, and I'm already enjoying it so much. I am somewhere in the first or second chapter, and it's called How to Leave the Mormon Church, an ex-Mormon's guide to rebuilding after religion. And the author is Alyssa Grenfell. And she actually based this cover of the book off of the ending of The Truman Show, which is why I just watched it yesterday. So it's like Truman is leaving, or a Mormon is leaving his current worldview, and he is entering infinite possibilities of what it means to leave the Mormon Church. So I am already I'm already liking this book very much, and I will try to end it right now after a questions for humans. I hope this is like one of my shorter videos I've ever put out yet. And I am just real quickly, I'm just very enjoying life right now. Making friends at work, making better friends with my current roommates, but still gaming a lot, still just living the hermit life, kind of, and I'm excited to keep living, excited to see what the next day brings. Okay, here is my questions for humans question. What's the most underrated fast food chain? Underrated. I don't think Chick-fil-A is underrated. Chipotle is amazing. What is underrated? Maybe Subway, honestly. I spent years learning to love Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's, and maybe another sandwich shop here and there, but I think Subway is becoming very underrated. A lot of shops are closing, I know, and I just still really enjoy those sandwiches. My top sandwich there is the bread, Italian, herbs, and cheese. The type of meat is spicy Italian, which is just pepperoni and salami. I mix up the cheese every once in a while. Sometimes I toast it, sometimes I don't. And I put almost every single veggie on it. Usually I don't do spinach, but this last time I went, I put spinach on it. And then my sauces are honey mustard and ranch. And then my salt and pepper. And that's it. A spicy Italian foot long. I love Subway. I think it is very underrated. And that's that for this video. So thank you for visiting me in the past, and I will see you back in the future. Bye.
Quick follow-up video. Today's January 27th, 2024, so 2 or 3 days after I recorded my last video, but this is just to cover two things that I forgot to mention. So in the video, I mentioned movies and TV shows I've been watching and books that I am currently reading. A category I forgot to mention was video games I've been playing. So for the past 3 months of October, November, December, I was playing quite a bit of Elden Ring, and it wasn't the first time I've ever played it, but I got a lot further in it than my first attempt, and I still can't understand the big hype that 99% of the world loves this game so much. Maybe I got Dark Souled out with some other games, but I'm just having the hardest time enjoying my playing in Elden Ring. So it's been like at least a month since I last picked it up. The other big game that I played quite a bit during those 3 months was The Witness. It's a 2016 puzzle game. It's a very fascinating game. I first learned about it in college during this stupid game class I took, but I finally played a lot of it, and there's over 500 puzzles in it, and I solved at least 300 of them now. And I'm also taking a long break from that one because in this game, like, you can solve tons and tons of puzzles, but I'm at a point now where it's hard to find puzzles and it's hard to figure out what to do next. But it's a very I really recommend it, and I hope I finish it eventually. It's a game, one of those games that you shouldn't look up the answers on the internet. You should really try to solve every puzzle as best you can, because it's very rewarding. Anyways, but to continue on with the other games, those were the two big ones I think that I did for those 3 months. And since the new year started, since we're already 27 days into the new year, I've been playing a bit of Enter the Gungeon. It's a very simplistic, I don't know about simplistic, but it's a very fun, simple graphics game, a shooter, a 2D shooter game, I guess. And the game I'm enjoying the most right now is a game called Ashen, which ironically is another Dark Souls-like game, but it's a lot simpler. Even the graphics are a lot simpler, but the combat, the style, is very much like a Dark Souls game, but I am enjoying it a lot more than I did Elden Ring, and maybe even Dark Souls 3. We'll see. I'll keep playing it, but I have big hopes for. I'm probably about a third or halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it. I spent too much time on this category of video games for just 4 games. But the other thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot to mention was the Super Bowl is coming up soon, and we actually don't know who the final 2 teams are. But like last year, I think I predicted. I waited till the final 4 teams, and then I think I predicted that, or I wanted the Super Bowl to be between the Chiefs and the. I think it was the Bengals last year, if I'm not mistaken. And then I wanted the Chiefs to win, and that happened, so I was happy. So the final 4 this year for 2024 is the Chiefs and the Ravens are playing, and the Lions and the 49ers are playing. And that's all happens tomorrow. And the top 2 teams favored to win, I think, are the Ravens and the 49ers. They have the highest ranks in their respective conferences. Anyways, I am a Chiefs fan, not that I watch much football, but so I hope the Super Bowl will be between the Chiefs and the 49ers. And I predict that the Chiefs will beat the 49ers by 6 points. And also, just yesterday, I learned about some kind of weird conspiracy theory that the NFL is rigged because the NFL creates their Super Bowl colorful logos like 2 or 3 years in advance. And there's like a wild conspiracy theory that the games are rigged because it's happened a couple times in the past, but this year the Super Bowl colors are like red and purple. And if the Ravens and the 49ers are the 2 Super Bowl contenders, then it's basically their colors already in the logo. So, anyways, yeah, those are the 2 things I forgot to mention. All right, thanks, bye.